Hello everyone, I'm Amir from Adobe class. We are still on the selection tools in the Photoshop and we want to work with the quick selection and magic wand tool in the selection. So without no more word, let us start. Exactly on the left side in our toolbar in the fourth option we have a quick selection tool and magic wand tool. So I'm first choosing the quick selection tool and explaining about this subject, and we can see a square and a little square and one plus in middle on it. So let me select the first option and without no plus in my square. So every time click any color, that color will be selected for me. For example, if I'm clicking on the blue one, this blue square will be selected for me, not the green one, not the yellow one. Just the color that I'm clicking on it. For example, if I'm clicking on the green one will be selected for me. They didn't select, for example, a blue square on this rubric. Or if I'm clicking on the red one, this one will be selected for me. And I can work with it. It's a very useful, guys, for example, cut one t-shirt, one flower, one ball, everything from a pictures with the same colors, and we can work with them. For example, if I'm hold my mouse and I start dragging, we can see it's selecting squares for me and like this, for example, and we understand we can select our square with dragging tool. We can see it's selected for me very well. It was a very hard to working with the lasso tool, guys, that we worked in the last class, and it was very harder sorry to do this, and it's very easy with the quick selection. And let me deselect this, select this one and select this and this one too. And here in our option bar about the quick selection, we have something here. The name is, let me do object from selection, subtract from selection, and here we can see the negative exactly middle on my mouse, square my mouse, and it's meaning I can deselect this my selection with the dragging. For example, if I'm start dragging, we can see it deselecting for me, or I can click. If I'm clicking, it's faster for me, but I can dragging. For example, if I'm working very sensitive about my work, I can start dragging and it's deselect for me some things. And if I want to deselect quickly, if I'm click, it will be deselect for me. So this one, subtract from an option, deselect my selections, and I can do this with this. For example, little here I can fix it with this, and this option doing this for me. So in the fourth option in the quick selection that we have in the quick selection option, it's a size. We can see my mouse position square a little bit on the 30 pixel. If I'm going on the, for example, 70, it will be bigger for me, or 100 even, 91, 100, 11, 12. And we can see it's very bigger, and if I'm clicking one time, it select very much for me. And if I'm beyond the add to selection with this size, for example, if I'm click this blue and white square, we can see the both of them will be selected for me. You can see a little bit selected for me too. For example, if I make it bigger, like this one, it's very big. Let me deselect this first and click on the fourth of this. We can see the Photoshop selected the fourth square here for me, and I can work with them. So I'm click on the subtract and deselect all of them like this. So let me change the size to default, and guys, it's my offer to size always be on the default. And here it's a hardness and spacing. I will explain about this in the next lessons, because if I'm explaining about this, some people will be confused. So we need the time and start normal to every people understand what I'm saying. So let me deselect this and select this one. I'm going and select magic wand tool with a W shortcut, and you can see them here. And here it's an option from a selection and from a magic wand tool. And I will explain about options from here again. I explain it about this subject, and I will explain again about this too. Magic selection or magic wand tool, I will call this tool is magic selection. Magic selection select colors that they are the same together and they are near together. For example, if I'm click here, a simple click, we can see the very big places selected for me. And magic tool doing this. For example, if I'm click on this blue square, it will be select for me. Guys, we have to attention. Magic selection is very sensitive about the colors. For example, when I'm click on the here, we can see the blue. It's for example very I don't know. Here, the blue of here, it's a very lighter than blue of here because it didn't select it for me. For example, if I'm click on this white here, you can see the whole square selected for me very well. But if I'm click on this one, you can see that these places didn't select for me because it's different color with this one. Because it's, for example, like something like a light from this. If I'm click this one here, you can see the places that they have a different color with it. That place I click on it, they didn't select for me. And it's very sensitive about the colors. So let me select one and click here. And we can see because of this, they are the same together, very the same. They selected for me two of square from this Rubik, and we can see because they were the same. For example, let me select this one again, and we can work with the magic tool like this, and everything will select for me. For example, we can see if I'm click on these places, this square will be select for me, and if I'm click on this white, this one will delete for me. And if I want to, for example, have a two selection together, for example, I want to select this orange square with this white square here. What we can do? We can come here in the option and click on the add to selection. And if I'm every time clicking, we can add any selection that we want. And we can see because of this little square had the same color with the background selected for me too. And I said select magic selection the same color for us. So let me select all of this and add to selection have one shortcut. It's shift. For example, when I'm click on the white and I wanted to select this one too, and I don't want to select coming here and select this, it's taking our time actually a little bit. If I'm hold shift, now I'm holding on my keyboard, you can see this one selected for me like this. And now if I'm clicking on it, and when I'm release a shift on my keyboard, you can see it's backing to the new selection. So every time I hold shift, it's going to add selection. If I'm release shift, going to the new selection, and if I'm click this, all of these will be deleted for me. And I have to say something, guys, because I didn't upload the videos about the 2 weeks and why. In my country, my government country, disconnect the internet for some reason for exactly 2 weeks, and even now after 4 p.m. I don't have any internet in my country, so it was very hard for me to upload the videos, and probably this video will be uploaded tomorrow. And I'm sorry for this because I didn't have any internet in my country. So back to subject. For example, we have this here, it's a subtract from selection. If I'm, for example, click on the selection and select some things, and if I'm click on this one, every time I'm click on the one color the same, will be deselect for me. Guys, it's a little bit different to the lasso tools, and I explain about them. For example, every time I'm click on the same colors like here, some places will be deselect for me. It deselect the same color. Like this, for example, you can see these places didn't deselect for me very well because they are not the same. So if I'm click on the control and D will be deselect for me. Point simple, it's our sensitivity about our selection. For example, now my selection choosing just one pixel and attention about that pixel color. For example, if I'm click here, you can see the light here beyond this new selection. You can see just the light selected for me because that pixel was a little bit white and different to the here. And let me deselect this. And if I'm, for example, make bigger my average, for example, 3 by 3 or 5 by 5, I always use a 3 by 3 because point simple is very sensitive. And 3 by 3 and 5 by 5 average, it's better for us. But if, for example, I'm click on the 51 by 51, it's not sensitive at all. For example, if I'm click here, you can see the both squares selected for me. And for example, if I'm click here, you can see the very big places selected for me and it's doing this for us. If my average be on the, for example, point simple and click here, you can see the less places selected for me than before. And we have to attention, and they are important, guys, to have to know these about our Photoshop. So let me explain about the tolerance. Tolerance is our sensitivity to how to select one places. I think like this one. If I'm, for example, be on the, I think the maximum of the tolerance is the 255. Let me to click on the 1000 to understand how it's maximum. Yeah, and you can see they change it to 2055. For example, if I'm now click on the here, you can see the whole picture selected for me, and it's not good really for selecting everything, and it's make hard our work. It's my offer to be on the 32 on the default, and it's I don't know where will be used. Better it's be on the 32, and it's better for us. It's very sensitive and it's better for our work. So let me select this and deselect all of these, and you can see if I'm click here, it's selecting better for me. And so thanks for watching until now, and I hope everything be good and my country start to connect internet to international, because it's very hard for any YouTuber in my country to upload videos. I don't know, I can upload videos in tomorrow or not, because one of my friends told me he can't upload the videos. So thanks for watching until now.